Sessions and connection. So in a session, one party has the role of a client and the other has the role of a server. And in a connection, both the parties have equal roles, as in they behave as peers. So let's suppose an example of a session. So how can we describe a session is while you log into your Gmail account. So you act as a client and the organization server, the Google server, act as server. So you as a client send the request to allocate all your resources, some of the resources, and in response, the server responds with those resources, and you are able to log into a session of your Gmail account. And as in a connection is done using a server, but it is to communicate between two clients, between two pairs, such as communicating through your WhatsApp. So whenever that happens, a connection is created between two peers. Okay. So by this diagram, we can easily understand the relation between client and a server. There are session states, and there is a session going on between the client and the server. So there are few parameters that has to be maintained throughout a session. So there is one that is session ID, some certificates, peer certificates, compression methodology that is being used while transferring all the information throughout the session, cipher suit, the agreed upon cipher suit between the server and the client, the master secret key between the server and the client, and is resumable. It is type of a flag which tells us that is it a new connection or it is being resumed from some point. So similarly, there are few more parameters. These are connection state parameters, and these can be easily understood once read upon. So I'll just go through these. Server and client random numbers, a sequence of bytes chosen by the server and the client for each connection. Server write MAC secret, the outbound server MAC key for message integrity. The server uses it to sign and the client uses it to verify. Client write MAC secret, the outbound client MAC key for message integrity. The client uses it to sign and the server uses it to verify. Server write secret, client write secret. So these are the outbound server slash client encryption key for message integrity. Okay, so the next two are initialization vectors and sequence numbers. And sequence number are just being used. The sequence number starts from 0 and increments, and it must not exceeds to 2 power 64 minus 1. So it is just for the distinction of the packets. So moving on. The client and the server have 6 different cryptographic secrets, 3 read secrets and 3 write secrets. The read secrets for the client are the same as the write secrets for the server and vice versa. So there are basic 4 protocols that SSL uses to basically provide security throughout the message communication process. So one is the handshake protocol, second is chain cipher specification protocol, third is alert protocol, and fourth one is record protocol. And as we know, there are three important things that we need to maintain throughout the message communication process. One is authentication, second is integrity, and the third one is confidentiality. And all these protocols take care of all these things. So moving on. So this is basically a diagram which we can see that how all these protocols are arranged between the application layer and the transport layer. First of all, handshake protocol comes into picture, then chain cipher specification protocol, alert protocol, and then moving on to record protocol. So yeah, so now moving on to the handshake protocol. What does handshake protocol is provide us is basically the establishment of the connection, and then there comes the authentication of the client and the server, and Everything else is provided by the record protocol, the integrity and the confidentiality on the message. So moving on, handshake protocol is divided into four phases. The first four phases between the client and the server. The first phase is establishing the security capabilities. That is, we need to establish a connection between the client and the server to confirm, to do e- every other step. To move on to the every other step, we need to first establish a connection between client and the server. And the second is server authentication and key exchange. In this phase, the server authenticates itself to the client. And in third phase, client authenticates itself to the server. And the fourth phase is finalizing the handshaking. The first phase of handshake protocol, establishment of the connection. So the client sends client hello, a hello message to the server, and server responds with a hello message to the client. So what does this hello message contains? It contains a few parameters and the values associated with these parameters. First, the important ones are the version. Version is the SSL version being used by the client. The session ID that is generated or that is automatically generated. Cipher suit, all the algorithms that can be used, the cryptographic algorithms that can be used. A list of the cryptographic algorithms from the client side is sent to the server side. Compression methods, what all methodologies, algorithms can be used for compression is sent out to the server. And now server sends out a server hello describing the version of the SSL version that will be used, session ID, the similar session ID, and selected cipher set out of the list. Out of the cipher suit list, a particular a cipher algorithm is selected, and that selected cipher algorithm is sent. Now selected compression methodology. The similar a compression methodology is selected by the server and sent. After phase 1, the client and the server know the following: the version of SSL, the algorithm for key exchange, message authentication and encryption, the compression method, the two random numbers for key generation. Okay. So now moving on to phase 2 handshake protocol. In this, server authenticates itself to the client. So server sends out certificates, server key exchange, certificate requests, and server hello done. In this, two important things we need to take care about: the server key exchange and the certificate requests. There can be many combinations possible in which server can send out these. So in order, it can authenticate itself to the client that yes, at last it's me, the server that you requested, that you sent the request to, it's that only, and it is sending every data so that it can authenticate itself to the client. So after phase 2, the server is authenticated to the client and the client knows the public key of the server if required. So the four combinations possible that in which the certificate and the server key exchange is sent by the server to the client. So one can be no server key exchange, but the certificate is RSA encryption certificate. So and another combination is the server sends no certificate, but giving all the three keys that we discussed about, it exchanges all the three keys to the client. So another combination is RSA or digitally signed certificate. Okay, it sends out that, and with that, it also sends out all the keys involved with the involved associated with the server. Or there's one more combination that it sends out DHCert with no key exchange. Okay. So moving on, the phase 3 is that now client has to authenticate to the server that yes, at last it is the client that you sent out all the requests to, all the response to. Yes, this is that client only sending out these proofs so that you can approve me that it's really authenticated. So moving on, so it sends out certificate, client key exchange, and certificate verify. So after phase 3, the client is authenticated for the server. both the client and the server know the pre-master secret. So there are a few things that there are a few combinations that the client sends out to the server, which can be one is no certificate and client key exchange with the pre-master secret. Second, no certificate, but all the three keys that we talked about. So now the next is RSA or the DSS certificate, or and the client key exchanges signed all the three keys that we discussed. And as we have already studied, this DH certificate with no key exchange. So these are the few combination that in order to authenticate the client to the server that can be used. This phase 4 of the handshake protocol is basically the finalization call. In this, client addresses that whatever the secret key and the cipher suit we have discussed upon, that will be only the thing that will be used for further communication, and server does the same with the client by sending out chain cipher specification value. So if there's any changing, if there is any specification that needs to be changed regarding this cipher, that is sent out. Otherwise, basically this is a finalization process in which already discussed secret key, the cipher suit are being used for further communication. The finalization process is done. So after phase 4, the client and the server are ready to exchange data. So basically, we have established the connection between the client and the server. Now the connection is established and both client and the server are authenticated. These are authorized client and servers. So now data communication can begin for the further process, and the further protocols can be used into existence so that every part of message integrity, confidentiality, and authentication is maintained.